Smart, smart, do. We are the children, the children of God. Come, come, come. We change our world. We have what it takes to do it smart and make it smart. Welcome to our Smart Do.
Okay, class 7, once more, welcome on board. I want to take you through a simple topic on what we call the artificial fertilizers. The artificial fertilizers. They are also known as inorganic fertilizers. Inorganic fertilizers. Inorganic fertilizers. Inorganic fertilizers. They are artificial or inorganic fertilizers. Just to remind you on the organic fertilizers, we mentioned that organic fertilizers are the farmyard manure. We also mentioned the green manure, and we also mentioned the compost manure, And we said in the compost manure, you arrange some materials in a certain order. And so that you may not forget, you use the slogan, David taught about fish keeping methods. That is the arrangement of a compost heap. Fish keeping methods. This is a compost heap. It is arranged in that order. You arrange materials. David represents the dry leaves. Tot represents the topsoil. About represents the ash. The fish represents the farmyard manure. And keeping represents the kitchen refuse. And the methods represents maize stalks. And in this arrangement, we also say that the ash is mainly added to increase nutrients. Then we also say that the manure, or what we are calling the farmyard manure is added mainly to nourish the bacteria, or provide food for the bacteria. And then we say that the dry leaves protect the heap from direct sunlight. And then the topsoil introduces bacteria. Now, those are some points about the compost manure. It is a compost because you pipe these materials. The dry grass, there is a dry grass. You pipe the dry grass. You also have the topsoil. You also have the ash, that is the wood ash. We have the farmyard manure. We have the kitchen refuse. And the last was maize stalks. Last point was that turn the heap occasionally to allow proper circulation of air. Today I will not take you through this. This was just a reminder of the organic manures or the natural manures. Today I want to train about the artificial manures, those that are chemically prepared in factories. They are chemical made and they are bought in shops. And the organic manures, the main advantage is that they release the nutrients very fast into the soil. And you can also tell the quantity of nutrients, the percentages. And they are categorized into two. They are those that we call the straight fertilizers. And we also have what we call the compound fertilizers. And I want to give the difference between the two. The straight fertilizers are fertilizers, the straight fertilizers are fertilizers that contain only one macronutrient, And we said in our previous lesson that macronutrients are nutrients that are required by plants in large quantities. And therefore, these straight fertilizers, the straight fertilizers contain only one macronutrient. The others are just micronutrients. And to mention, we have those that contain nitrogen. And therefore, if they contain nitrogen, they are known as nitrogenous. There are those that contain phosphorus, we call them phosphatic fertilizers. We have those that contain potassium, and therefore they are known as potassic fertilizers. We have three main straight fertilizers: the nitrogenous, the phosphatic, and we also have the nitrogenous, the phosphatic, and then we have the potassic. They contain only nitrogen, or either phosphorus or either potassium. And nitrogen is represented by N, phosphorus is P, and potassium is represented by K. And we should note this. Then we have, in the straight fertilizers, we also have what we call the compound fertilizers. Compound fertilizers contain more than one macronutrient. They contain more than one macronutrient. They can have more than one. We have examples. We have the DAP, which stands for diammonium phosphate. We also have the MAP, which means the monoammonium phosphate. And we have the NPK, which is represented by this, but at different percentages. There are those that makes this one in 17-17-0, meaning 17% nitrogen, 17% phosphorus, 0 potassium. There is 20-20-20, 20% nitrogen, 20% phosphorus, 20% potassium. And now, the last point is that I've said that a few advantages. One, they are not bulky. You can put in supply them into the farm very fast. They have known percentages of the nutrients. They also release the nutrients immediately into the soil. The main disadvantage of this one is that if used in excess, they pollute the soil. They destroy the soil structure. Unlike manures, which we say the main advantage is improving the soil structure. Have a good day.